Hey everyone, and welcome to Europa Universalis 4. The results are in, and a huge majority of you, 2/3 I believe, have decided that we're going to be playing as the Karlings. We're going to continue as Emperor Augusto of France. He's actually an emperor, by the way, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I highly recommend you check out the conversion video that I've linked in the description, because this is where I've let you decide which country I play next in this special scenario. If you're familiar with EU4, you will notice that this is not the regular start date. This is actually a converted game. I just finished a huge campaign as Karlings in CK2, and I converted over the game into EU4, and now we're going to continue here. So definitely go ahead and check out that conversion video, because there I talk about the great powers, kind of the general setting, the religions, and all of these kinds of things. I also point out a few interesting nations to keep a look at, or to look out for over the course of this series. Now, in between the conversion video and this one, I've actually made a few more adjustments to the map in particular, and also to some of the countries. Some of this inspired by comments in the comment section. Let's first talk about the map changes. I have fixed a little bit here in North Africa, so I've given Tassili a little bit more provinces. Jerusalem has some provinces here from Sicily. This is just, I don't know, the converter made a mistake there, or did it wrong. And I basically just fixed it. Same here in the Ethiopia region. This just looks a little bit more like it did in CK2. Not really sure what the converter was doing there, and I missed it earlier. Also, just, you know, looking at this region right here, you'll notice that a lot of the names have changed. So we no longer have the Hamadids here. It's actually known as Tunis, and we no longer have the Sirhans. We actually have Jerusalem, and that goes, or that is true for various other, nations, especially in the southern hemisphere, I guess, or southern regions. So Andalusia has been renamed, the Levant, the Muzaffarids previously have been renamed, and various other nations as well. And the reason is very simple. In CK2, the dynamic names make sense because, I guess, naming the country after the ruling family for the Muslim cultures, or Arabic cultures, or whatever you want to call it, makes sense because it is automatically updated if the family changes. But I've had this happen in a previous conversion video, where basically, let's say we had the Hamadids here, and the country was known as the Hamadids, but the Hamadids were no longer in control. So right now, I've renamed it to Tunis, so even if the Hamadid family no longer rules, the country name still makes sense. And that was just kind of important to me. And also, it allows us to kind of understand which countries even, like, what is that even supposed to represent. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention. And lastly, there was a great comment that told me how I could actually get the electors that I want for the Holy Roman Empire. So previously, or in the conversion video, I a little bit complained maybe that both Brittany and Ferrara were electors in the Holy Roman Empire. And I was able to change that, and now we have replaced them with Brandenburg and the Bishopric of Salzburg. And this is perfect, because now we have 3 spiritual leaders, or electors. We've got the Papal State, we have got the Bishopric, wow, that was weird. The Bishopric of Holland and the Bishopric of Salzburg. And then we've got the Kings of Sicily, Tuscany, Swabia, and the Duke of Brandenburg as electors, which I think is just very, very cool. All right, that is that. Once again, oh, and one more thing, I've added York as its own custom nation, because for some reason that was actually, Andhra was part of Andhra is an Indian nation, but it has the tag YOR, and I guess the converter messed that up and made it York. It was really strange, but I fixed it, so we now have a different color up here. Okay, now that's all the changes I've made. Now I would like to mention that I have also read all of your comments discussing the new format I want to try here. So obviously I let you guys vote which nation I start off with, and I planned on changing the nation after every ruler. dies, or yeah, and then we'll have another vote, and you guys get to decide who I play next. Now, there were various people, including some of my supporters on Patreon, that didn't really like that too much and said that they'd rather see me continue as France. Right off the bat, I gotta be honest that I haven't fully decided what I'm gonna do just yet, but I definitely see the appeal. I definitely see what you've been saying. We've been following the Karlings for 250 to 300 years now, and then suddenly changing that, you know, can be a bit awkward. I understand that, and that can be, you know, maybe disappointing to some people. But the other side is something very important. If you expect to see a world conquest here, if you or anything close to that, that will not happen. And that is not because I hate that necessarily. It's just that I know that from experience that I do not enjoy playing a superpower, or maybe no, maybe that's wrong. There comes a point in the game where it's just conquest after conquest after conquest, and you're just waiting for truces. There's no strategic element to it. It's not like you're waiting for a very powerful enemy to be weakened, or you're working really hard to get this alliance so that you can beat your enemies, or anything like that. It's really just waiting for truces to end to conquer the next thing. And I just don't enjoy that. So once we're so strong that it doesn't even matter what we do, I just don't want to play anymore. And you know, this point is not going to come in the next 50 years, probably not going to happen in the next 150 years. But after that, once we hit 1600, it's very possible that I'll just not be interested anymore, because we'll be too powerful. So I just want to tell you guys that. As I said, I haven't fully decided what we're going to do. For now, you guys voted for France, and I'm going to be playing as Augusto Karling. But yeah, how we continue then, I haven't fully decided yet, but I just wanted to let you guys know what I'm thinking about. Now, with that, all of this out of the way, I guess we can actually start looking into our country. As I said, for those of you who have followed the series, you should be familiar with both Augusto Karling and his son, Gilbert. Incredibly amazing man, Augusto. Very, very great warrior and brilliant marshal. That's represented by his stats as well. Tactical genius, a bold fighter. And he's also, however, that's something very important to note, he's also benevolent. He's not a cruel man. He's seen as wanting to do good. So that is obviously pretty helpful. His son and heir, Gilbert Karling, he's married to the Duchess of Provence, so we have an alliance there in a royal marriage as well. Obviously, in the game that is not represented that specifically, but we know it. And Gilbert is a very, very good commander as well. One of the first few things I'm going to be doing right here is I will make sure that both our ruler as well as our heir are commanders. So let's check out how they turn out. Okay, Augusto Karling 1-4-2, and then Gilbert 4-2-1. That's very interesting. So Gilbert is specialized in siege, whereas Augusto is rather firing in the field. Okay, very good. So those are our two commanders. We might get a third one as well because we've got 3 armies. But we'll check out the estates then. For now, I guess it's just in the nature of our emperor. We're going to go with a military focus. It may not be the best to start out with, but it's just something that fits our character here. Now, I realize this is not CK2. I'm not going to be fully role-playing this, but I will include some role-play elements into the series as well. So, just so you guys know. Alright, now, we are very rich, for sure. So we could certainly... yeah, we could certainly afford a higher tier advisor, but maybe we want to get one from the estates. One other thing I should mention here, we have currently a Ventalen as wife, so I guess during the conversion, Augusto's wife, the Duchess of Flanders, has died. The reason this happened is because Flanders is now in a personal union. I wanted to represent this. It makes a lot of sense to me this way. And it weakens us in a way as well. But yeah, that obviously has some interesting side effect. So now we have a Ventalen from Normandy, as I renamed that nation, as our queen. But I guess that's fine too. It's kind of fun. Yeah, so I'm going to hold off on appointing any advisors for now because I want to see what the estates have to offer. Our government, I think I mentioned this, we are an empire, which we're technically not. I guess this is another thing that happened during the conversion. Augusto crowned himself as emperor of France, I guess. Yeah, it's just they converted that, and I don't know how to change it back. So technically we should be a kingdom. We're now an empire. It's fine by me. One thing I did was I accepted Venetian as culture because for a long time we have been Dukes of Verona, or family members. Our family members have been Dukes of Verona, and so I felt like that simply fits. Now, diplomacy, yeah, we have two rivals. We have Tuscany and England as rivals. England's excommunicated, by the way. And I think as third rival, I'm going to pick the Bulgarian Empire here because obviously they hold, well, I mean, they didn't steal our kingdom. It's just, I don't know. I would just go with the Bulgarian Empire here as rival. Don't think we're really going to go to war with them anytime soon. But they are also something that was very difficult for me to represent, but they actually have an anti-pope in CK2. This is not a concept in EU4, but maybe that just kind of allows us to rival them or something like that. That's what I'm thinking anyways. Okay, as for economy, don't think that anything needs to be changed right here. That's fine. Trade is fine too. We might have to check out our merchants. We're collecting trade in Genoa, and we're transferring power in Bordeaux. Okay, so that probably needs to be changed. Bordeaux is being transferred. We're collecting here. Obviously, Provence is stealing a lot of power here. How much power do we have? I don't think we have any power here, to be honest. Very little. Yeah, I don't think that is that useful. I think what we should do is... Is that our home node? I think this might be... Okay, yeah, so this is our home node. So I think what I would suggest is that we maybe transfer... Transfer from Bordeaux is fine. And I think then we'll transfer from Rhineland as well. Transfer trade power here from Genoa. Yeah, perfect. So we'll transfer here. And then once our vassals are annexed, we'll probably have the English Channel as our main trade node. But that will happen next time. Well, no, well, not next time necessarily, but later at some point. For sure. Okay, now, technology, there's nothing we can do right now. As for institutions, we obviously have feudalism embraced. And it's going to be interesting to see where the Renaissance starts, because this is a converted game. The Renaissance can technically spawn in China or India, or, you know, the Middle East. It's possible to spawn wherever. So I'm definitely interested to see where it happens. The Mongols are obviously a little bit in a problematic situation because they do not have feudalism embraced. So right now they're the strongest nation in the world, even stronger than Ming, but probably not for all that long. Okay, other than that, we've got ideas. We've got a special ideas set, and that gives us some extra prestige and diplomatic reputation right off the bat. And then we've got some other ideas we'll check out later. Now, as for missions, we have some specialized missions as France here, and some of them we've already finished. For example, we've reconquered Normandy, and we've actually held Normandy for a long time. They're a vassal of ours, a March even. But yeah, why not finish this mission? It will give us permanent claims on Brittany, which is obviously pretty interesting. Brittany is part of the Holy Roman Empire, so it's not easy to take these guys out, even if they look weak right now. And then we also have reconquered Gascony, and we could get, claims on Provence. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So where do we have claims now? We have claims on our vassal here, we have claims on our ally, and then on Brittany. Okay, so we're definitely going to go after Brittany first. That's for sure. Okay, that's for our missions. Decisions, there's nothing we can do right now. Stability is fine. Religion, we've got 3 cardinals at the moment. Yeah, there's the Holy War currently going on, or the Crusade for Takrur. Okay, we'll just have to wait for our influence to tick up, and then we can invest a little bit so that we can become Curia Controller. As for military, let's turn that off. 36 out of 48. We could build a little bit more. I think we will. And subjects, I'll put you all on sieging, because you'll be more useful than me. Yeah, those are our 3 subjects. I guess we can actually start improving relations with Toulouse, because you're going to be the first one that will annex. Except, oh, we don't have any diplomats available right now. Okay, that's fine. So, and then last but not least, estates. Yeah, I wanted to talk about them a little bit. The nobility needs a little bit more power. The clergy... okay, there's a few things we can do. We can give them influence and gain papal influence. Oh, that's actually really good. Let's actually start this and spend it immediately so that we have a chance to become the next Curia Controller. Because that was actually our goal in CK2 towards the end. Sort of. Okay, now what else can we do? Let's talk to you again. We can seek your support, lose a little bit of legitimacy and prestige, but we could gain some administrative power. Well, let's have you loyal and influential for now, and we'll maybe do this a little bit later. Could get even more loyalty. I don't think we need that. We could grant some monopoly charters, but I don't really see... No, I don't really see that happening. But the nobility, they want a little bit more land. They could call a Diet Grand Generalship. I think there's a few things that we'll do here. So let's first give them some lands. Maybe here in the woods. Orléans. Is there a province where we have high manpower? Where do we have high manpower? Aquitaine. Passepartout. If only I knew where that was. Oh, it must be up here. Yeah, this one. You know what? I'm actually going to give... Oh, this is already held by the bourgeoisie. Of course it is. Alright, let's check this out again. Where else do we have high? Can I actually... Yeah, local manpower value. 3. Charleroi. Is that here? Nope. Here it is. Ah, okay. That's farmlands. Oh, this is already given to the nobility. Alright, fine. You know what? I don't want to check this out too long. I guess we're just going to give this to the nobility here. That should make him happy. Very good. Okay, so now... we could call a diet, 5 prestige, I can see that happening, and we'll grant some generalship to you. You gain 20 influence, wow, okay. But you're giving us some really good bonuses for warrior king like Augusto, this is fine. And then we can get a little bit of extra military power as well. Now, a minister would be useful too. Improved relations. Yeah, we can't do this, they would become too influential. What about here, recruiting a minister? 15 influence. Nah, that's too much as well. National unrest, missionary strength. Okay, what about you? Inflation reduction. Okay, I'm not too interested in that either. Okay, so we're just going to pick some of the generic ones. I guess we'll start with level 1 for now. Diplomats. Yeah, why not diplomatic reputation? Sure. You're Catholic, Occitan, Flemish, and Catholic. And then you, national manpower, land maintenance. Let's give us a little bit more manpower. Why not? Perfect. Okay, so let's... do we actually want to start drilling? Maybe we want to start drilling even. Let's have you lead this. Gilbert, you lead this army. And this will be Bernard Giselle. Oh wow, he's actually really good at sieging. Even better than our son. Alright, perfect. Well, you can drill, and you can drill. Although I do believe we're going to go to war very soon. We have a little bit of money left, and I think we should definitely go ahead and build a fortification in our capital of Paris. Because right now, we only have our capital fort here. We definitely need to improve that. And I'm also thinking about having a fortress here to the south, because we've got only these 2 fortresses up here. So definitely need to improve that. I'm wondering, here in the woods or here, protecting this? Probably here. You know what, Aquitaine, you will get a castle as well. Perfect. Alright, that's all looking good. Yep, I once again managed to cover an entire 20-minute episode without moving forward. That's exceptional. Still though, I think we've covered a lot. We have set up our country and we're ready to actually move forward next time. Thank you guys so much for watching so far. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you're pumped for the series as much. I hope you're as much excited as I am. And yeah, I'll see you next time.